Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveller long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. A little while ago, I talked about making intelligent choices by maximizing future options, because some people with PhDs have proven that that's what intelligence means. It's science. You can't argue with science. In fact, using evidence to argue with previously established results is kind of the definition of science. So, while you can't argue with science, you are more than welcome to argue with any particular scientific result. So, okay, great. Maximize future options. That's great to say, but what does it mean? Like, how do you actually apply that in real life? Take college. When you enter college, if you declare a major, then you are just the tiniest little bit stuck. I mean, you can always change it, but there's paperwork and there's bureaucracy, and as you start taking classes, it becomes harder to justify switching to a different, entirely unrelated major. And the more classes you take, there become fewer and fewer related majors that you can switch to. So, if you're looking to maximize future options, you should wait as long as possible to declare a major, right? Well, actually, declaring a major at all limits your options. You should never declare a major. And taking classes limits your options, so you shouldn't take any classes. The most intelligent thing you can do in college is to never declare a major and never take any classes. Okay, we've clearly gone awry somewhere along the line. Let's see if we can track down where it was. Some of it is sunk cost fallacy, and that's another video. But a huge part of it is too narrow a definition of future options. I mean, yes, you have maximized your choices for choosing a college major, but you're not trying to maximize options for choosing a college major. You're trying to maximize your choices for your entire life. I mean, the whole point of going to college was that, all else being equal, having a degree gives you more options than not having a degree. So if you just dither around for 7 years, not declaring a major, not taking any classes, have you actually maximized future options? I mean, you'd have been better off getting a major in some completely random subject and spending 3 years getting a job or traveling to Africa or making art on Tumblr or something. It's a big part of the reason for procrastination. At some level, we know that having more options is smarter, is better than having fewer options. And so doing nothing feels like a really good choice. You're just keeping your options open, right? But in fact, action, even arbitrary action, even stupid action, is generally better than inaction. And part of it is that we underestimate the value of exploration. Just aimless meandering can be incredibly useful at figuring out stuff you want to do and finding people you might want to hang out with and jobs you might be good at and art you want to create. Just random wandering can be astonishingly useful. And some of it is that we underestimate the cost of holding still. It seems like just keeping your options open doesn't cost you anything, but it's costing you 60 minutes an hour. Your time is a limited resource, and it's one of the most important to manage intelligently. Robert Frost used the metaphor of walking through a forest and coming onto trails going off in different directions. Using a naive interpretation of maximize future options, it seems like maybe you should just stay right there. I mean, that way you have the choice of going that way or back the way you came. You have all kinds of options. But what you're actually doing is standing in the woods. That's not maximizing future options. That's stagnating. That's my interpretation. But I may be as woefully wrong as Humphrey Belcher, who thought the time was ripe for a cheese cauldron. What's been your experience? Drop a comment, let's discuss. DFTBA.